Now, the most awaited moment, because of which we will all here, we woke up early in the morning and came here to attend this session. Yeah, so now we are beginning with the main segment of our today's conclave. So yeah, the first keynote will be on the topic, role of books in board exams. So with that, we start with our first speaker of the day, the young and dashing man himself, who is the CEO and Managing Director of Educart, Mr. Ripul Agrawal. So Mr. Ripul Agrawal comes with a platitude of experience in investment banking, digital marketing, tech startups, and is now leading Educart to bring you all those helpful question banks and sample papers that you practice daily. So please welcome once again Mr. Ripul Agrawal with lots and lots of claps and applauses, everyone. Yes, sir, the stage is yours.
Hello everyone. How's the Josh? Very nice. Since my talk is going to be the shortest, I wouldn't bore you for too long, but I have some really interesting and important things to share with you based on my experience as one of the leaders at Educart. First of all, I want to thank our special guest for gracing us at this particular moment. I would also like to thank our smart and influential vloggers who are sitting at the front. I wouldn't name all of them because it will take too long. And most importantly, thank you everyone for coming today. So without further ado, let's start. Can I have my PPT please? Thank you. Right. हम पहले start करेंगे with a very important caution. And guys, a very small request. I want pin drop silence. एकदम pin drop silence, then only I will get continued. Not even phone पे click करना भी allowed नहीं. Pin drop silence, not just for myself, but for all the other speakers who are coming after me. Right. So, what is your biggest challenge? One by one. जिन लोगों को लगता है phone addiction is your biggest challenge, please raise your hands. All right. 50%, 60%. Don't shy, I'm not going to pick you out. You cannot remember everything. रोज पढ़ते हैं पर भूल जाते हैं जब पीरियोडिक टेस्ट आते हैं, राइट? वाओ, फोन एडिक्शन से ज्यादा. सो एक्टिव रिकॉल इज वीक, राइट? टाइम नहीं है पढ़ाई करने के लिए. नॉट मच टाइम टू स्टडी, टू मेनी बैकलॉग्स. मुझे लगता है कुछ बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो तीनों में हाथ उड़ा रहे हैं. And last but not least, parents की expectations कैसे manage करें? There's so many parents sitting here who would also agree. Our expectations are very high, right? Okay. The point is, the reason why I asked this question is these problems are actually not problems. These are our perspectives on what is the issue. So over the period of the next 5 minutes, I will try and solve those issues in a way that it resonates with you guys better. But before I start further, I would like to appreciate someone we truly loved and recently lost, because this is something a lot of you may or may not know. Mr. Ratan Tata, country's future lies in the hands of youngsters. Something he said few years ago when he was on a school visit in Munnar, and there he made it very clear that the youngsters are the future of India. Am I right? So it's a shame that we have lost him, but we should always remember as the only man who has taken India truly to a global scale. We use his brands every single day. How many of you have heard of Chroma? How many know that Chroma is owned by Tata? Okay. So there are lots of brands. So a big appreciation and thank you for all of this that he has done for us. One advantage of being a boss is my team made it very clear to me that, sir, इतना investment कर रहे हैं, थोड़ा promotion तो बनता है. But I'm like, books का promotion करने में बच्चे bore हो जाएंगे. Am I right? No, you're not supposed to say yes. So the point is, these are a few slides that my team has added, which I'm going to conveniently skip. All right, that's it. Right. What is the role of books today? We are all very used to YouTube. We use YouTube to learn every single day. We are reliant on our offline coaching institutions, our teachers who support us and teach us every single day. But the importance of books is still very strong today. And you know what? I'll tell you something which you may or may not have realized so far, but the beauty of books is that it gives you the latest pattern every single time you read a book. Do you know, whenever there is a circular announced by CBSE on any changes in the syllabus, any changes in the pattern, you would think that the first product that comes out on the new syllabus or circular or pattern change or sample paper for that matter would be something that your teachers will tell you, right? But in reality, publishing houses are the most updated and aggressive today. Within 5 days of any kind of circular or pattern being released, we launch our books. We relaunch our books. We revise the books so that students don't study from the old pattern. So the beauty of books today is that if you read the book and you buy the latest version, you can blindly trust the books to give you the right information and the latest information. This is something that you normally don't get with the teachers or sometimes with the educators as well, because they don't have the bandwidth and the team to work dedicatedly on it. So never ever underestimate the importance of a good book if you have one, because it will give you what you need to perform better. Secondly, we are so overcrowded with content overload. What happens then is that the book gives you a defined structure. It tells you इतना पढ़ना है, इतने questions इस chapter के कर लो, आपका हो जाएगा. That is the structure that book gives you, because otherwise you will be clueless, because there are so many questions for each chapter that you find on Telegram, WhatsApp, notes and whatnot. A good book tells you these number of questions are sufficient. That is the beauty of a good book. Thirdly, you cannot ask your doubts every time you have. But the books, good books give you step-wise answers to every single question. You don't have to buy expensive courses to get your answers. You can use a good book and see what is the quality of answers. How do you solve a particular question? This is something that you can have within the confines of your room, and that is the benefit of having a good book in your hand. And lastly, it covers everything important from PYQs to NCERT exemplar, NCERT in-text questions, competency questions, चाहे वो 50% हो, 30% हो, it doesn't matter. A good book will cover all of those questions. So guys, when I say it, not just because of Educart, whatever good publishing brand you buy, you need to stick to that and practice properly, and trust me, try and finish it, because that will give you the structure that you want. That is the beauty and power of books in today's age as well. Now, This is not a promotion, by the way. What I want to know is, आप में से कितने बच्चों को ये पता है या कितने बच्चों को नहीं पता है कि एग्जाम्स आने वाले हैं, मैं क्वेश्चन बैंक लूं या सैंपल पेपर? कितने लोग क्लूलेस होते हैं कि कौन सा टाइप का बुक लेना चाहिए? रेज योर हैंड्स. So 50% of the crowd 4 months, 5 months before board exam still doesn't know हमें कौन सी बुक लेनी चाहिए. Do you know why? Because ये कोई बताता नहीं. But I'll tell you something very basic which will help you today so that you can decide what works for you. Question bank, very simple logic, chapter wise. Sample paper, paper wise. आपको कौन सी बुक कब लेनी है? You buy a question bank when you want to practice a specific chapter questions of all types. चाहे वो PYQ हो, चाहे वो NCERT exemplar हो, चाहे वो short answer हो, long answer हो, case based हो, assertion reason हो, real life questions हो. You want to practice all kind of questions of a specific chapter and you want to cover the syllabus in that form. Then you buy a question bank. Question bank is bought between June and November because that is the duration that you need to complete your syllabus. Yes or no? You don't buy a question bank when you are 2 months before the exam because तब paper wise तैयारी करनी पड़ेगी. You do sample papers when you have completed your syllabus. If you buy sample papers, at least when you have completed 60-70% of the syllabus, then you can try the papers and see where you stand. When you want to see if you can attempt the whole paper in 3 hours, you need sample paper book. But when you need to see how much well you know the chapters, you buy question bank. Do you understand the difference, guys? So next time you need to know what you need to buy. Don't ask in comments on YouTube. कोई नहीं बताएगा. Keep in mind your requirement. अगर आपको तैयारी करनी है chapter wise, तो ही question bank लें. If you think you are ready, buy a sample paper book. Next, don't ever eat free lunch. What does that mean? Can anyone tell me what does it mean when I say don't eat free lunch? You know what is the biggest problem that we all face as students? हमें इतना content मिलता है कि हमें पता नहीं हम क्या पढ़ें. Yes or no? Telegram पे इतने notes मिल रहे हैं, pirated books मिल रही है, free में आपको questions मिल रहे हैं, important questions, right? WhatsApp पे teachers आपको forward कर रहे हैं, ये questions कर लो, वो questions कर लो. Yes or no? कोचिंग के टीचर भी अपने नोट्स दे रहे हैं, अपने क्वेश्चंस दे रहे हैं. एनसीईआरटी भी करनी है, आरडी शर्मा भी करनी है, आरएस अग्रवाल भी करनी है, लखमीर सिंह भी करनी है. कितना करोगे? यू नो व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम? वी फील ग्रेटफुल कि हमें किसी ने फ्री का कंटेंट दिया है तो देख लेते हैं. यू नो व्हाट टॉपर्स डू? दे डोंट लुक एट दोज कंटेंट. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे नो दैट if they focus on the selected trusted sources जिनके थ्रू उन्हें अपनी तैयारी करनी है, तो they will not get distracted. So next time you get something sent to you as a PDF for free, please do not consider it because it's not free. Your time is going in that. It is going to take you in a different direction. वो एक एक 2-2 घंटा आप उन क्वेश्चंस को लगा रहे होगे जो आपको नहीं पता कि वो रेलेवेंट है, क्योंकि वो फ्री है. अच्छी चीज है, फ्री में नहीं मिलती. Yes or no? So the reality is don't chase free content. Focus on trusted brands. Focus on your teachers. अगर आपका टीचर आपको कुछ पढ़ा रहा है उसको पढ़ो. अगर आपका टीचर आपको फ्री में दे रहा है पर वो क्लास में नहीं पढ़ा रहा है उसको मत पढ़ो. Don't chase free lunch. Game changers. I don't like the word toppers because toppers are very stereotypical. What is the meaning of toppers? जो एग्जाम में पास अच्छा करता है, who gets 98-99%, yes? But क्या हर टॉपर सीईओ बन जाता है बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज का? मेरे तो 80% आए थे, मैं तो टॉपर नहीं था. Do you know what is the new terminology we used to use? The new terminology is game changers. You can score 60% in board exams and still change the game when you go in your industry. You don't need to be a topper. Toppers are those people who only crack board exams. But can you crack life? You don't need to be a topper to crack life, yes or no? So you are game changers. You want to become a game changer, not a topper. There's a big difference. कोई आपको बोल रहा है topper strategy. Toppers don't follow other topper strategy. Toppers follow their strategy. That's why they are toppers. So game changers don't follow topper strategy. If you want to become a game changer, follow your teacher strategy. That's it. No other strategy. कोई बोले ये 5 दिन का वीडियो पढ़ लो, उससे आपको टॉपर बन जाओगे. कोई बोले 20 डेज में कर लो, उससे टॉपर बन जाओगे. नो, अनलेस वो प्रशांत भैया है, दिगराज सर हूँ, किसी और की मत सुनना. Because they will tell you what works, but not everyone will tell you what works, because they are chasing views, other people. Remember, you are game changers, not toppers. Yes or no? There you go. Okay. CBSE ने अभी अपना sample paper launch किया था. There has been changes in the paper pattern. You should know the paper pattern. It is not. You need to know MCQs section A में कितने आएंगे, VSA कितने आएंगे, long answers कितने आएंगे. Once you know the paper pattern for each subject, then you pick up the book and practice those questions in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 questions, 10 questions. Section A कितनी देर में खत्म कर पा रहे हो, वो practice करना है. Section B कितनी देर में कर पा रहे हो, खत्म करना है. Students don't know the pattern. Pattern नहीं पता होगा तो आप अपनी तैयारी कैसे करेंगे? In our books, in our latest sample paper books, we have given this blueprint in a very simple form for every subject. Consume it, use it. You should know the pattern. अंधाधुंध तैयारी मत करिए. Make it structured. It's very, very important, guys. It is not rocket science. And one last thing, and I'm done. When I was in your age, I was in the same problem that you guys are facing. You know what used to happen? जब भी मेरे को कोई issue आता था, I used to mug it up. There were times when I used to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning and get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, क्योंकि मेरे को इतना rectification करना था, chits बनाता था, notes बनाता था. But that did not solve my problem. You know what works today for me? Even as a person who is running the company, you have a problem. If you stick with that problem for long enough, you will find a solution. It's a very powerful thing, guys. You know how it works? You think you are weak in one chapter. You think that you don't have enough time to cover that chapter because you have to move on to the next chapter. No. Give it 2 hours. Give it 1 more day. Give it 2 more days. लगे रहो. उस चैप्टर के एक एक कॉन्सेप्ट को डिफरेंट वीडियोस यूट्यूब पे देखो, डिफरेंट टीचर से पूछो, फ्रेंड से पूछो, बट मेक श्योर यू हैव एन आंसर टू योर क्वेश्चंस. एनी टॉपिक यू नॉट क्लियर ऑन, you need to close it once and for all. You stick on a problem for long enough, forever you will solve the problem. That is the fundamental mantra of game changers. Remember, don't mug it and move on. Close that chapter for good and then move on. Yes or no? Here we go. Thank you so much. And एक छोटा सा प्रमोशन करूंगा क्योंकि मेरे को मैसेज आ रहे हैं पीछे से.
मेरा बच्चा पढ़ाई में बहुत कमज़ोर है महाराज. बहुत कोशिश करी, कृपया कोई उपाय बताएं.
प्रभु, पथ प्रदर्शित करें. जी, दिशा प्रभु. वाहन. जैसी आज्ञा प्रभु.
एजुकार्ट के सैंपल पेपर का नाम सुना है?
जी नहीं।
उससे पढ़ाओ।
Thank you, everyone.